Hello, Translating Spirit Group. I am Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, and your fearless leader in here, Cheryl Gramps, asked me to step in and have a little chat and share some information with you guys. So I was in here yesterday. Someone actually kind of prompted me to come and look at a post, and someone had posted a question about if $500 was too much for a Reiki session. And I found it really fascinating, like how angry people were when it came to talking about spirituality and money. So now my whole world is what I do is I show spiritual entrepreneurs how to create money. So I want to talk a little bit about that and why you're being selfish if you aren't charging. Because I know this is a whole paradigm shift, right? This is a brand new way of thinking about money and spirituality. And I know it can get people quite wobbly, and there's a lot of that comes up because of these long limiting beliefs about money and spirituality. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about that so that you guys can maybe shift your perspective. And when we shift our perspective, we can actually help this paradigm shift that we're going through go faster. So the first thing I would like to say here is that you're being selfish if you aren't charging for your gift. And that always gets someone's goat. But I say that because first, you've been given a gift from Source. Source has given this to you. This is what you were born with. This is part of who you are. And this gift was given to you for a reason. Now, a lot of times people say, well, let me give my gift away for free. You're not supposed to charge. But the selfish part of not charging is, yes, you were given this gift, and you were given this gift to share it, and to share it in a massive way on this planet. And when you're able to share it in a massive way, there needs to be an energy exchange. And if there's no energy exchange when you're giving your gift, you get really out of balance. And I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You give, you give, you give, you're giving your gift away for free. You're not receiving that energy exchange. Hello, Romania. You're not receiving that energy exchange in, and there's a little bit of resentment that starts to happen because you're giving your gift away for free. Now, somehow you think like, oh, I'm supposed to be giving away for free. But that's not true, because there's no energy exchange when you do that. You're out of balance. And everything on this planet is in balance until people and humans get involved in the whole process. And then everything gets out of balance. And we were not put on this planet to struggle. We were not put in this planet to be in poverty. There's abundance everywhere. And it is our birthright to be abundant. And it is our birthright to be abundant and have that energy exchange happen with everything we do, including your spiritual gift. So if you're not charging for your gift, you're completely out of balance with the universe, and it's probably showing up in your life in all sorts of ways. So when you are in balance, things go easier. So when you're not charging, you're out of balance. You charge, you have a little bit more balance with that energy exchange. Now the selfish part comes in that first, people love to give, right? You love to give. That's why you give your gift away for free. It makes you feel good that you gave your gift away for free. But people like to give you things too. And a lot of us as spiritual entrepreneurs like to give and give and give, and we're never open to receiving. So to be open to receiving is really a miraculous thing. And it's amazing, because what happens when you are open to receiving is that you are open to allowing someone else to feel good about giving. So think about that for a second. When you allow someone, and I truly mean allow someone to give to you, and it should be the energy exchange, it should be monetary, because money is just energy. When you allow someone to do that, you're allowing someone to feel good about what they're doing. And when you give your gift away for free, you're actually depriving them of that joy of being able to do that energy exchange with you. And another reason why it's selfish to not be charging is that if you're living in poverty is the right word, or not the right word. We're going to go in scarcity. If you're living in a scarcity mindset and you're not supposed to be charging and not making that much money and everything else, then how in the world are you going to help other people? Because you have to, of course, put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else, right? So if you are not financially abundant, how do you figure on helping people around you? How do you help your family that needs assistance, or friends, or people all over the world that need help? When you're charging for what you do, you can now have the abundance to give back. So charging and creating financial abundance with your spiritual gift is not about, buying a bunch of stuff that you don't need, but creating that financial abundance allows you to give back. So right now you're probably, I don't know, a lot of people seem to be in that mid-range of making 40, 50,000 a year, right? That's a really tight place to be. But say you're making 40, 50,000 a year, you probably don't have a lot of money left over. You're just getting by. You've got kids, you've got a mortgage, a car payment, everything. So there's nothing left to give financially back out into the world because you're in scarcity mode because it's tight. But when you're able to make 6 figures and 7 figures with a business, you are now able to take that money and give it back to the world. Think of how much more good you can do if you're financially abundant and you're able to give that money back out into the planet than if you are in scarcity mode and hanging on to every penny that you have. So the idea here is I'm kind of talking about tithing because tithing is so important to be able to give that money back. But you have to have it to be able to give it. And if you don't have it, then what are you doing, right? You're hanging on to it. You're in scarcity mode. So when we have our spiritual gifts and we're not charging, we're way out of balance, guys, way out of balance. You're out of balance with the universe. That is not what the universe or source wants. And source would not have given you your gift if they didn't want us to use it. So you have to be able to use that gift. That's why you have it. That's why it's there, is to be able to take that gift and be able to share it with those around the world that need it the most. But you have to do it that energy exchange. You have to be able to give someone the great feeling of being able to give to you so that you have financial abundance so that you can give back to the world. So one of the things that I hear that comes up a lot is about, well, how are we in spiritual integrity if we are asking for money for our stuff? And there's all these people that need our help and we should be giving it away for free. So this is another thing I want to address. When we give things away for free, we are not in integrity with who we are spiritually. And I say it that way because, and hey, Dee, yes, Dee was the one that prompted me to come in here and talk. So, and hello, Marie. And so when we give someone, we say like, oh, I don't know if my people can afford it. They don't have the money, so I'm going to give it to them for free. You're seeing them in such a low vibration that you're not seeing them at their highest level of who they are. You're not seeing them at their highest light. You're seeing them as these poor people who can't afford to pay for your services. So I choose to see everyone in the highest possible vibration, to see that I know you can do it, that you're a creator of your reality, that you are here to create and not observe and complain, but you're here to create because I know you're a creator. If you're a conscious creator, you're incredibly powerful. So then there is no such thing as lack because you're able to create abundance because you're a creator. So when someone says, oh, you should give stuff away for free because people can't afford it, I don't choose to see them in that low light. I choose to see them in the highest vibration that they are. And I choose to then be in integrity with who I am as a spiritual being by seeing other beings in their highest light. So the minute you start talking about people that they can't afford, or I don't know if they can do that, all of that stuff, you've now put them in a really low light. And as spiritual entrepreneurs or people in here, so I work with spiritual entrepreneurs. Again, for those of you just joining, I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp, and your fearless leader in this group, Cheryl, has asked me to come in and kind of chat about this. So here I am. She actually was part of my program, which is why this group is here. And so being able to be in spiritual, like be in integrity with who you are as a spiritual being is to see yourself in the highest light. And so when you exchange just offered a free service today because they said they didn't work and have no money. So this is really great, Shane. So let's talk about that. And I hope I'm saying your name right. So when you give someone a free service, you're seeing them as they can't create. When someone's like, oh, but what was me? I don't work. I don't have any money. I don't believe that. I choose to see them as the highest and high vibration person that they are, and that they're conscious creators. They don't have money. They've created that, guys. That's the attraction that they have. And you're feeding it by saying, oh, you poor thing, I get it. Here's something for free. That's not how this world works. You have to see them in their highest light. You have to see them like, I don't believe that story. Do you want to continue to tell the story that you have no money and don't have a job? Is that the story you want to live by? I don't think so. when we can see them in their highest light and help shift that vibration for them, see them exactly where they need to be, that's how we're going to change the planet, not by giving them free gifts. So that's the little shift. We got to see them in this highest light. We have to be able, once we see that, see ourselves in our highest light, see the value of what we're doing, seeing that charging is an energy exchange. When we don't charge, we're completely out of balance. And when we're out of balance, what happens? You fall over. And if you're doing that and you're giving and you're not getting the energy exchange back, you probably see it showing up in all sorts of ways in your life. So as spiritual beings that have these amazing gifts, which is why you're in here, because that's right, you're working on translating spirit, really think that through. So how do I feel about discounting? Absolutely not. Because what you do is incredible. What you do is amazing and valuable. Why would you discount that? You don't go to a doctor and say, who's like a surgeon, right? Who's really good at what he does and says, hey, can you give me a discount? That's not what we do. We go, no, he's really amazing at what he does. And this is the money that I have put aside to be able to get XYZ done. Whatever it is, the good dentist or whatever it is that you're looking for. And even for friends and family, it's even worse, Shane, because friends and family, they don't value. So here's another thing. So I teach my clients and everyone that comes through my program to charge and to charge more. So actually, what's interesting is that yesterday's post that started this whole conversation was someone was asking about $500 for a Reiki session. And everyone like flipped out about that, which I have clients that charge more than that for their sessions. But I want to be clear, when you're doing something like that, it's not about just one session because you're really not serving. You have to make sure you're serving at the highest level. When you're serving at the highest level, your prices can and should reflect that. But if you're just doing a one-off reading here and there, it's really kind of like you're just a dog, like a dog and pony show, right? Oh, can you do a reading for me? Like they don't even value what that is. And so what happens with friends and family and when you discount is that people don't value your gift. How many of you guys out there have this amazing gift? You can connect with spirit. You can see the souls that have transitioned over and your friends and family think it's kind of fun. I remember meeting a client, and fun by I mean like fun, like haha. I had a client once, her tipping point was that she's an incredible medium, and a friend of hers said, oh, can you come do a reading? I'm having a party. Can you come do a reading? Oh, and I've also hired, I think it was a clown. She had like a juggler or something coming as well. And she thought for a second, wait, you're hiring a juggler and me as entertainment to do readings? This is where everything goes wrong. So you guys are not entertainment. You guys are amazing. You connect with spirit in ways that most people can only dream of, and freaks them out if they think about it. But like, you guys do amazing stuff. That's valuable. But when you're stepping out, having a business, you have to be able to do it and make sure that you're really serving. So just like, so you're going to just charge a high price point for like a session or a reading, it's a little out of balance with me, because for me, it's about service. So I teach all of my clients, if you're going to serve at the absolute highest level. And then yes, you can charge a higher price because that's there. But friends and family don't actually usually value it. They see it as, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's fun. Oh, come do readings for my friends. It's like, that's not what you guys are doing. You guys are amazing. And you should, excuse me, you should really be starting to focus on honing in your gift so that you can serve at a massive level. How do you serve at a massive level? You create a business, which is what I do. And for those of you joining who don't know who I am Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. I am actually helping the next spiritual leaders of the world really step out with their message. And so it's so important for us to get past this money issue. This money issue is just holding everybody back. It's ridiculous. Money is just energy. And everyone's like, oh, money is bad, money is this, money is that. No, money is energy, and money is what you do with it, and you need to have an energy exchange with other people when you're working with them. There's no other way to do it. You're not supposed to be giving your gift away for free. And I believe that we've been told to give our gift away for free to keep us down. Think about this for a second. The next time someone says, you're not supposed to be charging for your gift, why? Why exactly? What's the reason? And I think that we've been told that so that as gifted spiritual individuals, that it keeps us down. Because if we're constantly in scarcity mode and trying to figure out how to pay the rent and how to feed our family in the car and all that, if we're constantly in scarcity mode, we can't tap into our gifts, right? We're missing our connection with source because we're so worried we're in our brain up here instead of being connected in our soul with source. So when we're stressed, we're not connected with source. So if they tell the light workers of the world, they, whoever they be, but we'll just go with they tell people that the light workers of the world to not charge for their gifts. It's beautiful, actually, right? Because then they keep us in a low vibration. They keep us in scarcity mode, and then we can't fully tap in. Because, you know, just think for a second what the world would look like if all the light workers of the world were at their highest vibration. They were abundant, and they were at their highest vibration, continually tapping in with source, receiving the messages that you receive, and being able to take the financial abundance they create to then help the world and help shift the consciousness on the planet in a massive way. Could you even imagine what that looks like? So if you aren't charging for your gift, you're not helping this process. You're not helping shift consciousness. You are just a little dog and pony show off the side, and people think, oh, how cute, that's really fun. That's not what we're here for. You guys are all here because there's an awakening happening, and this awakening needs to happen faster than it is. And this awakening, this shift in consciousness is happening with or without us. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm on the leading edge of making sure that that happens in the smoothest way, and that we get the most people shifting their vibrations so that the planet, so that the vibration of the planet shifts as well. So that's where I am. So that's why it's not being selfish. I mean, or it is being selfish if you're not charging. You're out of balance with the universe. The universe did not put you here. God's spirit source did not put you here to hide your gifts. You got that gift for an absolute reason. You're supposed to be out there helping shift consciousness. And if you're not shifting consciousness, I don't know what you're doing. Because if you're out there doing a job that you don't like, that's keeping you in scarcity, that job, ultimately at the end of the day, that money means nothing to you. Because you're looking at it as like, oh, like, I had to go to this job and deal with these people, and because of that, I have to then take this money and go spend it on silly nonsense. But when you're in full alignment with source and you're creating abundance, and that abundance comes in, you almost don't even have a need for it. You have your basics, and then you give a ton of it away. And so that's where we should be. We should be able to have that financial abundance because the light workers of the world know what to do with that money. We know where it needs to go. We know how it needs to serve. And if you can just imagine a world for a moment where the light workers are abundant, the light workers are creating financial abundance, they're creating companies, they're able to shift consciousness in amazing ways. It's really an incredible thing, and it's something that I'm working to do because my goal is to help 5,000 spiritual entrepreneurs create 5,000 businesses in the next 5 years so that we can have an impact of millions of people across the planet and shift consciousness. So I'm going to look at a couple other questions before I hop off. Let's see. And that's right, Dee, you can't help anyone if you're in scarcity mode too. You need to be abundant. You have to be able to be abundant so that you can then share that abundance. But you can't help anyone, guys. Like when you have a problem, it's tough. I know. And so you ever have a family member come to you? Think of it this way. When we're in scarcity mode, all the little things become big things, right? You know, your tire needs to be replaced. If you're in scarcity mode and you don't have financial abundance, that becomes a really big thing that you have to go spend $200 or $400 on a tire. But when you have abundance, you're like, oh, I have to replace the tire. Like, okay, like it makes such a difference. You're able to help people in such a greater way. And who else am I missing? Help anyone. And Sharon says, your sister constantly loses X, Y, and Z, and it always rings me to help her guide her through, because she's losing things. So, you know, they may do that. And if it's your sister, you may be like, okay, that's good. But, you know, they definitely, they take advantage sometimes. The energy exchange. And hello, Veronica. So Dee, you are welcome. Oh, thank you. And Stacey, yeah, Stacey's one of my graduates as well. Stacey Overman. Cheryl, who runs this group, is also one of my graduates from Spiritual Biz Boot Camp. They're doing amazing things. Stacey is actually in my year-long mastery program, and she's got a book coming out, and it's just going to be just incredible what she's doing. So, and then, yeah, you get what you give. Simple. Yes. And so if you guys, you know, in this group, I saw a lot of really low vibration comments around money yesterday. I was really surprised, actually. And Dee kind of like said, hey, look at this group, look at this post, and come in and talk about it. So it just start to share this message, because this is so important. This is actually my goal in life, is to help like eradicate the poverty mindset of spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people, because we have such amazing gifts and we're supposed to be out there creating abundance. It's just, there's no other way. The planet was designed that way. It's actually our birthright to have that abundance, and to understand that it's not just a birthright. Like you say, oh, what's your birthright to have that? But it's your birthright, and that the energy that has created this world is the energy that is within you, that is the same energy that's money. It's the same thing. It is your birthright. It is you, ultimately. So to be able to create it is actually very simple when you're in alignment. So and being able to create it with something you love doing, like your spiritual gifts, even better. So you guys, all right. Well, again, I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. My Facebook group is Spiritual Biz Success, if you want to like look it up. But I hope this helps share the message, guys, because only when we shift the scarcity mentality of spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people out there will the world begin to change. So tithing, yes, tithing, Shane, that's actually my big thing. I love tithing. So tithing is huge. This is part of something I teach. So as I help my clients create 6- and 7-figure businesses, I showed them that the biggest piece of the puzzle is the tithing. Being able to give to a spiritual center where you are being spiritually fulfilled, being able to give your 10% out is huge. And so I do that from not even like at a personal level, but really at a company level. So my company tithes so that we're making a huge impact, because that's the only way to do it. And the more that you give, the more that you get, right? It comes back tenfold. That's why it's called tithing. Tithing means tenth. And so if you look at it, the way the tithing works is you have, it requires faith is what happens. So the act of tithing, like people might say, oh, I'm going to give like my 10%. And they're going to be like, okay, like looking at their watch, like, where is my money coming back? Why isn't it back? And that's not what tithing is about. So tithing is about putting faith in source, God, infinite intelligence, whatever word you want to use, putting the faith there, knowing that when it goes out, and you bless it when it goes out, you bless that money on its way out, and you bless it on the way in too, but you bless it on its way out to do the good that it's supposed to do. And I guarantee you it will come back in ways that you could not even imagine. And quite frankly, if you're in scarcity mode and you're like, ooh, like I don't, I hear this a lot. I don't have enough money to tithe. I'm barely making it now. That's exactly the time when you should be tithing. Because when you're in scarcity mode, we tend to hoard, right? We tend to hang on to every last penny. And when you hoard your money, you like stop the energy. This is that whole energy exchange thing I was talking about, right? Not only energy exchange and getting paid for what you do, but energy exchanging in the world. When we hoard our money, it's like becomes stagnant, like old dirty water. It becomes stagnant and it doesn't come in, it doesn't multiply. It needs the energy to go out and come back in. So when you put it out, it comes back, and it does come back tenfold. It's amazing how it appears, but it's about having faith. So the whole concept of tithing is being able to have faith in infinite intelligence, to know that you're taken care of. When you just have complete faith that you are taken care of, that source is here for you, but the only time you're not taken care of is when you disconnect from source. Like, it's right here. You are absolutely taken care of if you allow infinite intelligence to guide you. But when you disallow and you shut down, that's when scarcity mode comes in. That's when we worry, we get overwhelmed, fear. All of that comes from our disconnection with source. So when you can have complete faith that infinite intelligence has got you covered, then you're free to tithe. You're free to give the money away, because it'll come back. So if you're in like real scarcity mode, I highly recommend go give some money away. Go give some money away to a spiritual center that's really helping you, like a self-realization center or something like that that's around you, Unity Church, something that really grabs you, that you love, that really fulfills you. Give some money away. So if you're in scarcity, give it away, because I promise you it comes back. So Jay, hello Jay. So gifting money is good, but gifting your skills is bad. Yes, absolutely. And I'll explain, I kind of explained this earlier, but I'll explain it again, because it's about the energy exchange. You have to have an exchange of energy. So if you're giving, and you're giving your gift away for free, again, you've got this stagnant thing. You're just giving and you're not receiving. So there's no energy exchange. But when you receive money in, what you're missing is that when you're receiving money in, you're putting money back out. So you're receiving money in, and then you tithe money out. You receive money in, you tithe money out. When you're doing your gifting of your gift, you're just giving. There's no energy exchange. You're just giving. Nothing comes back in. That's the problem. You have to have that energy exchange back and forth. So it has to go. That flow has to happen. Anytime you stop the flow, you're out of balance and things get all out of whack. If you guys aren't tithing, I bet you your finances are totally out of whack. If you guys are giving your gift away for free, I bet you your finances are totally out of whack. Something is just not working. Something is going to be like there's a scarcity mode around that. And if you listen, Jay, to this whole recording from where I started earlier, I also talk about the fact that when we're gifting our stuff, that we're also really seeing people in such a low vibration because we're seeing that they can't afford it and they can't get there. But I would watch the beginning of this video. So to be clear, tithing is not discounting. That is absolutely true. Tithing is never, ever, ever a discount. Tithing is when you receive money in, then you give the money back out. So you have to receive it in and you give it out. And that's what tithing is. The money has to come in first and then give it out. A discount just shows that there's less value. Like I would never ever discount anything, especially anything you guys are doing with your gifts. I would not do it. Let's see. And how do you know that your gift is good enough for money? Well, that's where you're in here. And really that just comes from confidence and knowing that in here that source is trying to get you to get out there and share your gift. So, so Nicole, what you need to do is just kind of tap into you. But I'm sure it is good enough, and that's why you're even in here, because you're trying to figure it out. You know you have the gift. You're trying to figure it out. And so I would chat with Cheryl. This is Cheryl's group. She's amazing. Like I said, one of my clients for my Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. Chat with her, get connected with her, and she will show you how to develop those gifts so that you know you got it, and then you'll be ready to create your business. So that's what Cheryl's amazing at, is showing you guys how to really tap into those gifts that you have, how to master those gifts. And when you can master your gifts, then you know that you can go create a business with it. So, and then you always thought you weren't supposed to charge for your gifts, Anna Marie. That is absolutely wrong. And if you listen to the beginning part of this, I go into it in deep, but there has to be the energy exchange. And if you think about it, like sometimes every now and then we'll be like, oh, well, I want to be like Jesus, right? I want to be able to like, he didn't charge. And I'm like, well, that's not true. First of all, Jesus was incredibly wealthy. If you go back and read the Bible, he and all of his apostles were incredibly wealthy. And they were wealthy because people tithed, and that's how they kept them clothed and fed. But their money was a little bit different. Things worked a little differently. But he would go and people would feed him, they'd clothe him, they'd give him shelter. Like that's an energy exchange. But in this day and time, someone could be like, here's some clothes. But in this day and time, the green stuff, money is what's kind of ruling the world right now, right? So even though some people may say it's got a negative energy to it, money, blah, 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 it's only the energy that we put to it. So you definitely want to be charging. There has to be an energy exchange for it to happen. So, and as Shane says, yes, Cheryl is awesome. So Cheryl's the one. If you want to know how to tap into your gifts more, meet with her. And then if you're trying to figure out how to create your business, you can come into my group, which is Spiritual Biz Success. And I'm going to wrap it up, guys, because I'm kind of talked out. But I'm Kimberly Maska, founder of Spiritual Biz Bootcamp. You guys will be seeing in the not too far off future a book called Money is Love that addresses all of this, because this is my mission, is to eradicate the poverty mindset of spiritual entrepreneurs. So you guys have a beautiful day, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Have a great one. Thanks, Shane. Bye-bye.